thought about this, but I did a whole 10-year study on nothing but the doggone devil. Well, I'm not saying nothing but the devil, but I did a 10-year study on the doggone devil and Satan. And when you study something in all its form, you break the mystique from it and you get the real meaning behind it. And these are polarities and principles more than they are historical people that say the devil made me do it. That's a scapegoat. You see what I'm saying? But when you talk about Lucifer, that's nothing but a certain light coming from a dark, dormant space, manifesting into a manifested space, which is the light thing, which would be the Jesus thing. So that's what that is. It's just like the Antichrist. It's just like the Antichrist. If you was to take a Christ means light, but if you was to take a light, strike a match and put it to a white wall, and take your thumb and put in front of the match, you will see a shadow. You see what I'm saying? The shadow is just the polarities of the light. You see what I'm saying? Right. It's scientific more than it is this whole evil or wicked thing. You see, but as time goes on and cultures come and get younger and younger, they tend to lump things that they don't understand under the department of evil. So several ancient spiritual things that happened for thousands of years, when later generations came and they didn't understand those particular principles, they just lumped it all up under evil. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Well, Bobby, we have a lot of people that want to ask you some questions,
okay.
So I'm going to open the lines up.
All right.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me open this up. Let's see. Call 706. 706. Are you there? Caller. Okay, let me go to the next one.
Hello?
Area code, is this area code 617?
Yes.
Okay, what's your name? 617.
My name is Ramses.
Okay, Ramsey, you have a question for Bobby Hemmitt?
Yeah, I have a question. Recently, there's been a lot going on YouTube, and there's been a big debate between people who are mostly into the old Kemetic science and these brothers that call themselves Hebrew Israelites.
Right, yeah.
There's been a lot of friction. Now, I'm one who studies Kemetic science, but
right.
I want you to see if you can put any light on this thing about the Israelites and who they are, or if it's even real.
Okay. The best way to do this, to be fair, is to give people scholarship. When you give people scholarship, that ends that doggone argument. And after reviewing the scholarship, if they want to remain a fool, then let them be a fool. You see what I'm saying? Because knowledge is a privilege. And I'll give you the scholarship in a few minutes, but let me go into this. Basically, it's a family fight. Let's say, let me give you an example. Let me break it down. What's a black part of Detroit called?
Black Bottom.
Black Bottom. And what's another black part of Detroit? Just any place, other place.
I'm not familiar with Detroit. I don't.
Well, let's put it this way. Let me do it in Atlanta thing. We got a black part of Atlanta, which is Fulton County, Atlanta. Then we have Decatur. Just as many black people live in Decatur. We got a family fight going on between the Decatur Negroes and the Fulton County Negroes. Same thing what you got going on with the whole Egyptian thing. The Hebrews was nothing but a branch of Egyptians that came up out of Cush.
Right.
That came up out of Cush. And it came to a head on the Akhenaten, and they had to get the hell up out of Egypt. And they didn't even write the Torah until 700 years after so-called Moses' death. But Moses was the priest king of Akhenaten, because Moses itself is an Egyptian word. Moses, Tutmosis, you see, to draw out, to draw up out of water. So this is an Egyptian name itself. So what it is we got an argument on a family fight, a group of priests that was Egyptian priests that left Hemmitt the area of Samaria, Babylonia, whatever, and took on the culture of them as far as so that you couldn't trace it back to the Metanetta. But they took these principles, you see, with them, and it's a family fight, but they got their origin in Kemet. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Now, the whole concept here is there was never any slaves that built no pyramids. Now, they said that the pyramids and the temples and all that was already finished before the so-called first Hebrew father, Abraham. Which these particular patriarchs are only concepts that never were historical figures. Let me give you an example. You got Abraham, which is the father of the Hebrew race, and you got Sarah, his wife, right? Now, if you go to India, which is nothing but another form of Kush, Indus Kush, because you got the wonderful Ethiopian empire that ruled the whole world damn near, prior to Kemet.
Right.
But you see, if you go to India, the father of the Hindu pantheon is Brahma. Now look at the word Brahma and look at the word Abraham and descramble them. Abraham, Brahma, you got it, baby. Same God. Look at the word Brahma and look at the word Abraham, and you can get Abraham out of Brahma. And so Brahma's wife is called Sarasvati. Abraham's wife is called Sarah. Do you get the connection? We're talking about mystical concepts that was later historicalized as a people 700 years after the Exodus, which was not an exodus of some slaves, because no slaves ever built no pyramids. Those were advanced scientists that built the pyramids. You see what I'm saying? But they basically took the same mythology